I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. A few years ago, I had a vision. The vision was comprised of witnessing members of Congress really going through a very tumultuous time. I had envisioned that within the walls of Congress, there were questions about trust between themselves, but there was also the question of trust with Americans and the leadership of the country. So I went about to search for members of Congress who would be open to share with me the depths of their heart, what was at the base of their conscience. And I came across some of the most beautiful people that I walked away with this experience that our country is in good hands. Here we are many years later, maybe about 4 or 5 years later, after I had actually initially recorded Soul Talk on the Hill. And we're witnessing stuff that we have never seen in the United States of America. Trust within the walls of the United States Congress is at the all-time lowest it has ever been. As you know, just a few weeks ago, there were riots on the Capitol Hill. It was an insurrection. There were a lot of people hurt emotionally, mentally, physically. Soul Talk on the Hill invites me into the walls of the halls of Capitol Hill to sit and have a heart-to-heart conversation with members of Congress about what matters to them the most, what's at the base of their heart, their character, the content of their deepest, most innermost feelings. Never before has there been a meditation expert or an emotional wellness expert or even a yogi soul, however you want to put them in whatever label you want to. But there's never been someone like me that's been given the trust and the honor to enter into the walls of Capitol Hill and have a heart-to-heart conversation with our congressional leaders. What I love about Soul Talk on the Hill, it makes us see them for who they really are. Put aside all the political jargon that goes on. We get to see really who are the people that are creating our policies, voting for our rights. These are good people. And given the opportunity to really speak from the depths of their heart, the country, our cities, our districts will continue to keep thriving. As See Good TV re-releases this season of Soul Talk on the Hill, it is my pure wish that you sit back and relax and enjoy each of the episodes. Just go into the content, the questions, their expressions. You'll learn a lot about these people. They're good people. For anyone right now, it's a hard time. Globally, in the United States, it might be even more so, one of the hardest times it has ever endured. But I know that we will prevail, and I know that we will succeed. Soul Talk on the Hill is to invite you to give our congressional members a second chance, to begin to find ways to communicate with them from matters of the heart and not matters of the political spectrum. What's more important than anything is what is the need of the time internally, and how does my conscience and my heart find peace in my choices? Soul Talk on the Hill asks important questions, and the congressional leaders gave very profound answers. If you've got any comments or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. Soul Talk on the Hill is not endorsing any political parties or any candidate. It is simply having a heart-to-heart conversation with those who gave me the permission to come into the sacredness of their office and delve into their hearts. Enjoy Soul Talk on the Hill. Be well. Be safe. God bless you. Please, take care of yourselves. Everybody, welcome to the next normal. I love those quotations, no? Wow, honesty creates room for you to walk in your power. Wow. Wow. Just think about it. If we can be so honest with ourselves, wherever we go, we'll be like in our state of power. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to our specially beloved, wonderful tribe, our intimate community, our friends, family. If you're joining in for the first time, what took you so long? You missed so much. But anyway, I'm not going to rub it in. We're glad that you're here. We were having a meeting this weekend and we were saying, if somebody comes in for the first time today, do they even know when I talk to Santosh who Santosh is? Do they know about Sister Gita coming in and creating her little show? Do they know about Happy running around the place and barking every so often? And I said, no. But sometimes we step into shows, series that are going on. We don't know. We sit there and we try to catch up. So if you're just joining in, a very, very warm welcome to you. You've joined into the online version of the Brahma Kumaris meditation museums, which are still closed as a result of the pandemic. And boy, do we want to open up those places. But for now, we just have to continue with what the whole world is doing. Trying to still be of service and to still remain connected in community with each other. Thanks to the inventors of Wi-Fi, internet, a camera, a lens, electricity, audio, engineering, lighting, everything. It's just like, without them, how would we have connected? Perhaps we would have ended up just going back to, I don't know, walking to your next door neighbor to see how they're doing. And don't forget a cell phone. Steve Jobs and an Apple, an iPhone. I mean, what was he thinking when he invented that? Have you thought about some particular characters who have emerged on the stage of life and have played such an impactful role that has changed the history? Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Alexander Graham Bell, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Benjamin Franklin, I think, yeah. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on. And let's talk about our generation. The Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, right? Zuckerberg. I mean, these souls had an idea, thought about it with each other, just friends. They don't know where it's going to go. One says, hey, we should do something, Facebook, and connect people online and they can be together. Biggest thing in the world. Steve Jobs, we should put the world in the palm of people's hands. We should do a phone. Now it's a watch. People are like, hello, how are you? Remember Star Trek? Everyone, remember when, beam me up, Scotty. I mean, who thought of these things? I mean, they've changed the world. And today's discussion is, are you getting what you give? I mean, what have they given? What have they given? And there's been ins and outs. I mean, the inventor of a nuclear weapon. I mean, what was he thinking? The inventor of what I think it happened in China when they first started to put together gunpowder. What were they thinking? Can you imagine? I mean, if we didn't have electricity, would even air condition or heat have been invented? I mean, what would you be doing today if you're on the East Coast right now, or in Europe, or in cold, godforsaken places? How would you have stayed warm? What, put wood in an oven and sit there with your quilt? What have you gotten back as a result of giving? Who have you been? Who have you been throughout time? Just think about it. Do we even know what we receive as a result of our giving of our lives in whatever capacity? A mother, for example, especially in an Indian family, she's supposed to raise the child so well that the child becomes like the heir, the one who passes on the legacy of the family's name. If for whatever reason that child doesn't turn out the way they're expecting, they blame the poor mother. Yes, she gave everything, but does she get back what she gave? What does it feel like to get back, to receive just you showing up in life? What is it that the soul seems to yearn in terms of its receiving? What is it? So you give a smile to someone like, hello. And then the person is like, what's hello about it? How do you know if you're receiving what you've given? And do we give with the expectation of receiving? I mean, is that really the way to give? I don't think so. I was asking, where did this topic come from? I was like, we don't give to receive. We give because it's the nature of the human spirit. And I know that has changed, hasn't it? I mean, we will give only after we have gotten something in return. What I've loved about the teachings of Raj Yoga meditation taught by the Brahma Kumaris, we don't wait to get before we serve. We serve. If you receive, oh, that's so wonderful. If you don't, it's still wonderful. Because whatever goodness I'm sharing through my eyes, through my vibrations, through my words, through my touch, through my fragrance, it's serving the nature, it's serving the elements, it's serving the environment. And so there is something that does come back. The environment becomes clean, it becomes peaceful, it becomes pure. I can feel the return of my environment as a result of the sharing of vibrations from the soul. I think one of the ways that we get stuck is that the ego and the attachment, which are two particular stages of consciousness recorded in the soul, it has a tendency of putting things in a very small package. The ego and attachment takes away the wealth of what is unlimited and universal. Whenever I think or speak or act or make a decision from a place of ego or attachment, it reduces what the universe wants to give you in return. And I'm speaking from the level of all the kind of goodness that has the ability to come through you as an instrument. So imagine if I give my husband or my wife a dozen roses. Valentine's Day is coming up, right? I give my spouse a dozen roses, and they're like, "Don't give me those roses." I mean, how would that make you feel? Sometimes it's that whenever you find that when you're getting back what you think you haven't given out, and it comes in a way that it's unpleasant for you, you get upset and you start to reduce your giving. And the issue isn't in your giving. The issue was, what was your intention in your giving? That was the issue. In Hinduism, there are 33 million deities on record. Each one of those deities have a very specific, special quality that they are in service to. You go to Lakshmi for wealth. You go to Durga for destroy of obstacles. You go to Hanuman for, courage, Mahavir, the brave one. That they give this out. And in their giving, whoever wants to receive it, they take it. So let's say I go in front of Hanuman. I have this cute little Hanuman keychain. It's on my little keychain here. Thanks to Rashmi. So she gave me this little Hanuman keychain. And I've always had this blessing from people who have had visions of me looking like Hanuman, or somehow we end up talking about Hanuman, and it's the same week that everybody tells me, oh, I had a vision of Hanuman, or you look like Hanuman, or whatever. Hanuman didn't want anything. If you peered into Hanuman's chest and he opened it up and his heart was showing only love for Ram. only love for God. I think perhaps one of the greatest gifts of this pandemic and isolation or lockdown, it's that you and I are actually being given an opportunity to go deeper inside of the soul and find God there. Find the love of God there. And if we can come from that place of God's love, can you imagine what the return would be? Energetically, what the return first would be on you, the soul, and what the return of that energy would be in the long term of the karma for that soul, for you, the soul, the long term fortune or return of that sharing or giving. And then even though sometimes you find that you are giving, or I like to use the word bestowing, that you are bestowing, let's say you're bestowing to your family, you find that sometimes they take you for granted and they don't remember or think, especially for the homemakers, the kids and the spouse, they don't think how much energy is taking mom to take care of the home and to cook and to clean and to keep everything together, if that's her role. Nowadays, women are doing that and going to work. Where does she get a break? What does she get in return? What does the woman get in return for going to a 9-to-5 and taking, not only going to a 9-to-5, but having the kids, raising the kids, cooking, cleaning, dealing with the in-laws, planning for programs, activities, taking care of her husband's needs? What does she get in return if her giving is from a place of frustration or tiredness? So if the soul gets tired, or if the soul feels frustrated, then it won't even have the energy to ever give from that place of love. And why I'm inviting everybody tonight to somehow begin to bring into their lives the practice that let me take from the divine, let me take from God, let me take from Baba, let me take from Allah, Jehovah, the Supreme God. Let me take from God, which means love. Let me find a way to serve my spirit. And let me pull energy from the divine, from God, from Baba, so that my giving isn't a giving from me, but my giving will be from Source. And imagine that you're taking from an unlimited source, and that's coming out in a very balanced way. It's being shared in a very balanced way. You will always have enough for you. Always. Because when you're taking from the unlimited and it's flowing through you in a very balanced way, then everything in your environment starts to get served. And you don't get that frustrated because it's not tapping into all of your energy. It's tapping in from the energy you're receiving from the divine. And it's like the divine is giving that energy through you. So you're just gaining marks, you're gaining a commission. So are you getting what you're giving? Or are you arguing with the fact that you're not getting what you think you have given? Do you think that law even exists? I've found that when I don't see, sometimes when we do a report or we sit back and we look at everything that's going on in our unit, God, I don't see the result here, don't see the result there. It's not about just a result, but if you're putting in energy, the question comes, and there should be a result, right? So that means I and we have to check, well, where are we coming from then? There is a law. So as I keep learning about this, I go, yes, how much faith do I really have in pulling energy from Baba, from God? And how much of that am I sharing that with you and learning about it? It requires a great amount of balance of your inner and your outer dimension. If you give
based on what you're getting back in life, you won't give that much. I can assure you, you just won't give enough. You give a little. Because if you look at your life right now, how much are you getting from it? How much love are you getting 24/7? How much money are you getting 24/7? How healthy are you becoming 24/7? And what are your relationships like? Is there a lot of love in your life? Do you have a lot of friends? Is there a lot of giving and taking and friendships and security? So if I'm only going to give based on what I interpret I'm getting, I don't think it'll be much. I could be wrong though, but I don't think so. What if my giving now and my sharing and my offering and my benevolence is going to come from a source that's bigger than me? And how do I break that down practically? Well, let's say that I want to do this for me because I want to make $2,000 a week, and so I'm going to show up and do this show every week because my 2,000 is why I'm coming to work, because I'm getting $2,000 a week. Okay, so that means the energy that you're putting in Monday through Friday from 9 till 5, you're saying it's worth $2,000 worth of energy. So when you go to work every Monday, you will give what you think you're worth. One of the reasons why corporations are really struggling to find workers and employees who are really inspired and intoxicated is that even though they might be getting a good salary in return, they still don't feel the value of their souls. Sometimes I think about when I hear some of these athletes are getting paid, like their contracts are millions of dollars, and I sit for a little bit and I think, wow, they run the ball down the field really well. Well, they take it to the goal line and maybe they do it really, really well, and they're getting millions of dollars for that. Wow. I went to college, got my degree, did this, and I'm getting like $10. It can be very complicated, right? And sometimes you think about it, what are these athletes giving that they can get millions in return? It's because it's impacting so many millions of people to feel entertained. The other day, I was sharing how my dad, who passed away a few years ago, he loved cricket. And he used to play cricket, and I think he wanted a boy. But I used to go out with him, and we used to play cricket together. And for those of you who are Americans, you don't know what cricket is, look it up. I can't explain it to you. But it's a really well-known sport, like in Australia, in India, in the West Indies, in Africa. And so my dad was a very, very good cricket player. And there's a very famous cricket player, I don't know if he's still around, Santosh might know. His last name was Miraj too, like my dad, I believe. Anyway, so they were really, really good cricket players. And there's a wonderful cricket player who's the captain of the Indian cricket team, Virat Kohli, right? And he's married to Anuksha Sharma. And we were looking at his feet. I think he has like almost 100 million, like 100 million followers, or 50 million or something like that. But I want you to think about that for a little bit. This man goes on a field, holds a bat, the bowler bowls the ball, bam, he hits it, he does his runs. The audience, thousands and thousands of people over a long period of time, and millions in a country go, yay! They get so happy. They get so happy that all of that joy that they're getting from this soul goes to that soul. And that soul is getting all of this in return. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that fascinating? So I don't know what his paycheck is, but let's say he's getting 10 million a year. I mean, when you step into that category, you say to yourself, it must be really interesting to impact souls like that. Just through sports. You take a ball bat, and you go bam. The Super Bowl, you take a ball and you throw it down the field, bam, touchdown. You take another ball, you run it around the court, you go whoop, 3 points. Everything is with a ball, huh? You take a ball, what's her name, Serena Williams, and that. Take a ball, go tennis, bam, millions, because everybody's like, oh, and they did. Wow. Something else, huh? What does it take to be able to give from the best part of you, that in return you get that feeling and others also feel that same? It's a balance. I was remembering in one of our advanced classes of the Murli with Baba used to say, if remembrance and service, if your remembrance to God and your service to humanity is balanced, there will always be success. If you're doing more on the out but not doing enough on the in, success will take longer to find you. If you're going too much in and not enough out, success will not find you. It's when you find that balance and you strike that balance. It's what Michael Jordan used to have. What do they call it? That what was that thing that Michael would have? It's just, that he would hit it. He would hit it on the mark. Michael Jordan. Mojo? Is that what they call it? Mojo? Anyway, so he would just have that art, like, bam, it just goes in. So what I'm asking you to do is don't determine your giving based on what you've gotten. Not yet. And even for those athletes or even entertainers, stars who captivate your attention for an hour or two in their movies, and then they make you get scared, they make you laugh, they go, oh, and they make you dream, and they give you all these emotions. They make you move, they're like, yeah, it's like they just have your attention, and you go, click, I want to follow them, click, I want to like them, because they did something for you. But they played on all those emotions, and that vibration back from people is saying, wow, I like that. I like what you've done. I like what you did. You get what you give. But if what you're getting is small, and if you're using the consciousness of ego and attachment, I can assure you your giving will get less. Because we're still in the mode of the taking. I want to take before I really give to you. When I was first sent to Washington, D.C. by Daddy Janki was the spiritual mentor for the Brahma Kumaris before she passed away last year at 104 years old. Can you imagine? 104. For all the years that I knew Daddy, for the 3 decades I knew Daddy, she gave through her walk, through her classes, through the twinkle of her eyes, through her smile, through the wagging of her finger when you did something wrong, through her teachings. What does she get in return? Her purity, peace of mind, wisdom, stability, a clean heart, an opened mind, a loving presence. She was a pillar of strength. So your getting back from life doesn't have to mean you get millions because you hit a ball, or you have to have a big house or something. But if you are able to receive peace of mind, purity of heart, a clean conscience, then I believe you're giving from the right place. And I believe getting from that place will only make you a very balanced and a secure person. When Daddy first sent me to Washington, there was nobody here. No students, no center, no meditation place, nothing. You know what her message was to me, what she told me? No matter what, just serve one soul every day. Don't worry about numbers, just one soul every day. Do you know why she said that to me? So my mind could stay fresh and clear. Just the one person. Don't do something where it has to be 100 million. Because then you might not want to give. When you're giving, and you still just see 2 or 3 people. But if in your heart that giving is, even if it's one person, then that is serving you, then you're getting something in return that is beyond a price tag and even beyond numbers. It's not that Daddy didn't look for results. She sure did. But she never looked for results at a superficial level. She looked for results to say, well, if it's not happening, then you should check where you're coming from. Because even though you might give out a lot of energy, the question is, in what way are you? And something I check within myself too. Is there balance? Have you struck your balance in life? With your marriage? With your children? With your person? With your career? With your boss? With your colleagues at work? With your city, your society, your country? Have you found your balance? I leave that for you to ponder on as we go into a meditation on this. Because I think it's really, really important for us to find that deeper meaning, that deeper sense of ourselves, so that we don't have to labor so much. And Baba used to always tell us, when there's love, there'll be no labor. Is that a big part of the balance? Could be. Let's take a deep breath.
Sometimes we find it very difficult to keep a balance because so many things come, not only to distract us, but also to throw us off balance. A surprise, a shock, something negative that we didn't expect. And this becomes more and more every day. And when we are thrown off balance, then we lose our peace, we lose our sense of direction. And how do we get back on track? I have to start to understand that when I am secure within myself, and when I have an understanding of what balance means, then I can quickly put myself on the right track again. And as I become stronger, I will not be thrown off the right track anymore. Keeping balance creates maturity and creates a sense in the understanding that I'm able to deal with difficulties and obstacles, not in a way that is reactive and over-emotional, but in a way that is accepting, in a way that it is appropriate to the person and situation. An imbalanced mind acts very illogically. So to return to balance means that I start to realize that actually all things have their limit, even good things. Let me not go to any extremes, because when I go to extremes, they work against me. For example, patience is a great power. But if I keep being patient and patient and patient, very gradually that devolves into becoming passive and even apathetic. The same way with determination. In determination, I have an aim, I have a focus, and it helps me go beyond all distractions and all obstacles. But if that determination is not balanced with flexibility or with patience, then it starts to become stubbornness. I start to become tense. I start to become over-focused. And when people are stubborn, then they start to become insensitive to the needs of the people around them. So to keep balance, it means that I have opposite positives together. Determination plus patience and flexibility. Another balance is love and detachment. We need to be loving, to be accepting, to be respectful. We need, of course, to show mercy towards others. But for example, if there's too much mercy, what will happen? Then others start to become dependent on me. And when they become dependent on me, then they lose their own freedom. They cannot stand on their own feet. And if I give the wrong type of love, it starts to become possessiveness. And in that possessiveness, the other person loses their freedom. A characteristic of pure love is freedom. It allows the other to be free. So love needs to be balanced with detachment. Sometimes people don't understand detachment. They think it's something negative. But detachment is a very, very positive quality. Another word for detachment could be respectful space. If there's not detachment, if we don't respect the space in between, then there's the danger of getting stuck. And when we get stuck, nothing moves. Even good things do not move. Another balance is the balance of silence and action. I need silence to recharge myself, to renew myself, to relax. I need to go inward from time to time. But if I stay inward and I never come out, then I am lost in myself. I can become selfish, self-centered, lost in my own thoughts and my own ideas. True silence means to come out, to balance my inner world with my outer world. When I find peace in silence, when I find happiness in silence, when I find trust, truth in silence, then I share that with others. And to share, I must come into actions. Silence will always create quality in actions. In the same way, if I am lost in actions and never stop and reflect on what I am doing and why I'm doing it, then those actions will simply overtake my mind, and I'll just be doing and doing and doing like a machine. To keep the balance of different positive things at the same time will keep me healthy and make me truly functional and effective in life and in relationships.
And stay in that place for a little bit, huh? Just think about it. So many of us feel that we give a lot, and we do. If we're counting, it feels like a lot. I think one of the main reasons is that we're giving, but in a way sometimes we feel like, I don't really want to give. But we're feeling forced to have to give, and so we carry the frustration of the energy of giving and having to do something that sometimes the heart, the soul doesn't want to. I'm going to speak to all the Indian mothers out there, especially the traditional ones of back in the day. How many chapatis you had to make, how much dal and rice you had to cook and take care of the whole family. And how sometimes they just don't see you. And if that mom does not make those chapatis with love, man, those chapatis will feel so dry. So what happens when you feel like you give so much that I know there's a question by Nita here. How to address situations when you give selflessly, but in turn get blamed for the opposite? I think sometimes, Nita, we kind of surrender or accept, I have to do this. Have to take care of the kids, have to cook, have to keep the house going, I have to, keep my husband okay, I have to work. And deep down, the purest part of your soul actually is saying, I don't mind doing all of this. Deep down, in the purest part of our being, the soul is saying, I don't mind. I don't mind giving my kids whatever they want. I don't mind making my house beautiful. I don't mind taking care of my in-laws or family. But what I do mind is when I feel that the way I'm being treated isn't with value. If the person doesn't give me the respect that I know I deserve, or if they don't give me honesty, or if they don't give me love, then I start to realize that even in my doing, I find that my motives and my consciousness is mixed. And it's mixed with the energy of attachment, because now I'm saying, I'm your wife, you're supposed to treat me like this. I'm your mother, you're supposed to listen to me. I'm your daughter-in-law, I'm this, I'm the boss of the house, I'm the CEO of this company. And what happens is when you start to take from those titles, they will never satisfy the depths of your soul. Never. They never have. They never will. There are limited roles that we play for a very short period of time. And what the soul needs is an energy of virtues and purity and love and wisdom and strength and power and happiness. And that's why in media, when they touch all these emotions in you, then you react like, oh, they made me laugh, oh, they gave me cry, oh, so and so. It's funny because you might buy into watching a movie that makes you cry or it gives you fear or excitement, but yet when your husband or your wife or your kids make you cry in that, you don't like it. Have you ever noticed? You watch a movie that puts you through all these emotional processes. It gives you all of these different stages of emotions. But when you're at home and your kids or your family or your spouse is putting you through those same emotions, you're like, oh, wait a minute. You see how we've gotten a little sort of topsy-turvy, kind of mixed up inside? You see now? So until we actually just step back for a little, nobody can blame you for anything. They blame you because they're in denial. Unless I took the machete and went bam, then you can say, oh, you hit me with a machete, there's proof. But if I've been good and I've offered the best of what I had, and then people from the outside are blaming me for not being good enough, then there are two ways I receive it. I receive it in the form like, I can be more, I can be more. They're right. But there's no way I'm going to let them delete all the good that I've done. That I've done the best that I could. And there is room for always improvement for everyone. So sometimes when we think that we've been given selflessly, I think there is an element of selflessness because you're putting a big chunk of your life on pause because maybe if it was up to you, you'd like to be doing something else other than this. But you're not, and you just accept I have to take care of family. This is what I chose this life. And when I chose this life, I knew what it entailed. But I can also choose how to bring in the right kind of energy that I want in my life. And sometimes we don't have all that wisdom, especially when we enter into a marriage. You know, when we enter into a marriage, it's about the love, the passion, the expectation of what our future will be as a couple and the children and all of that and the building of our lives, right? And then as we're going along, we're beginning to feel like people are changing, we are changing, and responsibilities begin to pull us a little bit in this direction, that direction, and we're hoping everything stays good, but people change. And when people stop giving the best of themselves, you know what that says to me? When I am not able to give the best of myself, the signal that I get, the sign from that, is that my spirit is tired. My spirit is tired of lies. My spirit is tired of body consciousness. My spirit is tired of anger, lust, greed, attachment, ego, jealousy, competition, complaint, judgment, criticism. And my spirit is tired of feeding that energy in me. So I just don't know how to give anymore. Now the love is there. And the power is there and the purity is there. But it's buried under the body conscious nature and vibrations. It's buried. under the algae. And that's why meditation is so essential. Because when we meditate, the spirit, the soul can hear what the soul needs to do. In your meditation, in your reflection, in your prayer, in your silence, in your worship, your soul starts to hear itself, and it starts to realize what it needs to do. You can't keep running without any inner awareness. The more we feed the thoughts that are based on the labels, the limits, wife, husband, child, Indian, black, rich, poor, American, Mexican, African, who has fair skin, who has dark skin, who has fat nose, who has thin nose, who has nice eyebrows, who has bad eyebrows, who has... The more you feed that, you will eventually get very, very tired. One, it takes a lot of energy to sustain matter. But two, it takes a lot of truth to sustain spirit. Let's go into a meditation. Take a little pause, huh? It's a lot tonight. And I'm hoping that whoever out there can receive these words that are coming from Baba tonight. Really help you to see, it's all in your hands. Let's take a moment to pause. Letting go of anxiety. I take a moment to remember I'm a soul, a being of peace. Peace is not something I have, it is who I am. In this very moment in my life, I'm safe, complete, and ready for whatever circumstances emerge in front of me. As the circumstances around me change and bring about negative and uncertainties, I keep myself in this moment of truth, because I am a peaceful being. I take a moment to step inside, to sit comfortably behind my eyes, and to look out at the world as if I'm watching a play on a stage in the 10th row of a theater. And in this state, I'm safe. I'm an imperishable soul playing a part. This awareness, I am separate from the words and the events that try to limit who I am. They're sight scenes, a play. I've raised my awareness upwards, beyond, to a level of consciousness where I am no longer attached to anything negative or limited. And I find myself in this world of expansive light, peace, and wisdom. And when I'm here, I need nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let me continue to gather my true mental tools, the tools I need to continue to play my part with dignity and grace. So I breathe out peace, and I maintain my good wishes for others, because I have the courage to show up with beauty, clarity, and gentleness. In this very moment, I'm ready. I'm full of blessings. I'm committed and always hopeful, because my next thought would be my destination. Om Shanti. I was telling Santos, she took me from the winter to summer. And I loved it. I loved it. Anyway, dear spiritual family and friends, I hope tonight's session was useful and instrumental in moving you continuously forward in life. It's our pure wish that you just keep flying now, because we want to fly. I want to fly. Everyone here wants to fly. And of course we want you to fly. It means to go beyond all the muck, all the stuff, people. And I don't know if it's because I've had the privilege of listening to so many stories over the years, that after a while you become very detached, removed from most of your own issues, because then you realize that as souls we all have to go through something. We all have to play out our parts. We all have to accept that the souls in our lives are playing out their parts, and that it's nothing new, and I'm in a drama and all the world's a stage and we're mere actors, but God the director's got my back. And if I can just keep my eye on the director, my heart, my trust, my faith in the director, in God, I'll be all right. Whatever will be my scene, I'll be okay. So do your giving from a pure place, and what you'll get in return is what Daddy Janki showed so many of us. Stability of mind, purity of heart, unconditional love, happiness, a river of wisdom. That was her interest. Her interest was internal, and her eyes sparkled, and her presence revealed this is a soul that is invested at a soul level. So let's do some more investment at a soul level. Have a wonderful night. See you again tomorrow. Don't forget, on Wednesday will be Gina Belafonte. Look forward to that. You can tell your friends as well. Lots of love, everyone. Take care. Hi, everyone. It's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
This healing day, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing. my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends, my wonderful